Okay. I am making a Mitsurugi angelechy deck profile. I originally tried to make it Mitsurugi angelechy Fiendsmith, but after building the deck, I realized I didn't have room for Fiendsmith in the extra deck, so I figured just keep it with Mitsurugi angelechy. But I mainly managed to get a playset of all the Angelichy cards, so I figured what's the best thing I can mix it with. My first thought was Mitsurugi, just because Angelichy doesn't really have a whole lot of main deck cards, and then but a lot of extra deck, and Mitsurugi is a lot of main deck cards and hardly any extra deck. So I figured, why not? That seems like it actually is meant to work together. Also, it's two TCG exclusives. Anyway, starting off with the monsters. Honorary Mitsurugi in the form of Night Sword Serpent. This card has the effect where if it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, it special summons itself but banishes itself when it leaves the field. Next, I play one copy of Mitsurugi Saji. Saji has the effect of on normal or special summon, or when it's normal, special summoned, or tributed. That effect is shared by Aramasa and Kusanagi as well, where if condition is met, it does something. Saji will let you add a Mitsurugi spell or trap. And then those three monsters also share the on-field effect of if a ritual monster you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you contribute this card instead. Next, I play two copies of Aramasa. I want to play three, but I only have two, so I'm sticking with two for now. But Aramasa will let you add a Mitsurugi monster. Then I'll play one copy of Kusanagi. Kusanagi will let you add or target a Mitsurugi card in your graveyard or banish and return it to your hand. And then next, I play one copy of Agnimal Candle. This card's only purpose in the deck is when it's added from your deck to your hand by card effect, then it lets you summon itself for free. And next, for the monsters, I play one copy of Witness of the Ancient. Witness of the Ancient has the effect of if you have a synchro monster in your field or graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. Now, this card is special summoned. You can place up to 3 synchro monsters with different names from your extra deck and/or graveyard in your spell and trap zone as continuous spells. And then you summon one Arc token, which is a light machine token with 0 attack and defense, with a level equal to the number of cards you placed. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot summon from the extra deck except for synchro monsters. But this card is in here because a free level 4 tuner that will help you get into a synchro monster that lets you add the one witness. For the rituals, I play one copy of Futsu. I'll go over the shared effect of the ritual monsters, which is if they are tributed, then you can add a Mitsurugi card from your deck to your hand, and then you can special summon this card. However, it has to have been properly ritual summoned first, due to the ritual mechanic. But Futsu has the effect of once per chain, when your opponent special summons a monster, then you can special summon a Mitsurugi monster from your graveyard. And I believe you can only summon. It has to be a different name each time. Special summons a monster except in a damage step. Target a reptile monster in your graveyard. Special summon it. You'll use this effect chain. Okay, no, there's no restriction on it, and it targets a reptile to summon. Next, I play one copy of Hapakiri. This card has the once per duel effect of being able to reveal in your hand. Summon a Mitsurugi monster from your deck, contribute a monster. which Habakiri by itself is full Mitsurugi combo. As you activate Habakiri, summon Saji, tribute Saji. Saji grabs prayers, activate the prayers, tribute the Habakiri, trigger both of its effects. And then Habakiri will also let you get another search. And then Habakiri also has the on-field effect, floodgate-ish effect. Say ish because it's a continuous effect while it's on field. All monsters your opponent controls lose 800 attack. Then for the last of the Mitsurugi monsters, I play 3 copies of Murakumo, or Ame no Murakumo no Mitsurugi. Murakumo is honestly my favorite of the Mitsurugi rituals, just because when it's special summoned, it's a Rayeki. Once per turn, your opponent activates a card or effect, you make it so they have to discard a card, or else Murakumo negates that card. So if you can get your opponent in a position where they are relying on their top deck, Murakumo will just make it so your opponent can't do anything. For the hand traps, I play 2 copies of Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird has the effect of when your opponent adds a card from the deck to the hand except during the draw phase, then you can discard this card and make it, or you can discard this card to the graveyard to then make it so that neither player can add cards from their deck to their hand until the end of the turn. Next, I play 3 copies of Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Ash is mainly just in here to negate Molcharmies, but you can also negate any card that would let your opponent add a card from deck to hand, send out a card from deck to grave, or summon from deck. Next, I play 3 copies of Molcharmy Fuwalos. Fuwalos can only be used while you control no cards, but you can discard it so that until the end of the turn, each time your opponent summons from deck or extra deck, you get to draw a card. And then you can only use 2 Molcharmy effects per turn. And then during your opponent's end phase, if you have more cards in your hand than your opponent control has on field, plus 6. So your opponent ends their turn with 2 cards, but you have 10 cards in hand. You have to randomly shuffle cards from your hand back into the deck until you have 8 cards in hand. And then to finish off the hand traps, I also play 3 copies of Infinite Impermanence. Infinite Impermanence can be activated from your hand while you control no cards. But if you target an effect monster your opponent controls, negates effects till the end of the turn. And then if Infinite Impermanence was set when it was activated, then it also negates all spells and traps in its column. Be careful if you use this on your turn if it was set, because it will also negate your spell and trap cards in its column. For the spell cards, I play 1 copy of Angelechy Problem. Angelechy Problem has the effect of once per turn, you can discard a spell or trap to special summon 1 level 2 Angelechy monster from your extra deck. If you do, place 1 Angelechy monster from your extra deck in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. If a face-up Angelechy monster card or cards you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can return an Angelechy monster from your an Angelechy monster card you own from your spell and trap zone to the extra deck, and then special summon it. So if you have Destrier in your spell trap zone, if you have Destrier in your spell trap zone, you can put Destrier back, and then you can summon Destrier. Or you can put back Shatranga, and then summon Shatranga. Next, I play 1 copy of Metamorphosis. I feel like this card is just mandatory in Mitsurugi, as you tribute it, or you use it tributing a Mitsurugi ritual monster to then and summon Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, and then that ritual monster will activate, adding a Mitsurugi card from deck to hand, and then it'll summon itself. But Metamorphosis will let you tribute any fusion monster or fusion monster. Any monster you control, summon a fusion monster from your extra deck with the same level as a attributed monster. Next, I play one copy of Mitsurugi Mirror. Mitsurugi Mirror, don't know what that was, has the effect of, it can be used to ritual summon any reptile ritual monster from your hand or graveyard. You must tribute reptile monsters from your hand or field whose levels equal or exceed that monster's level. And then, if Murakumo, Habakiri, or Futsu you control is tributed while its cards in your graveyard, then you can shuffle it back to the deck. You can only use each effect of Mirror once per turn. One thing I have seen is some people are playing 2. I personally think 1 is good enough. Next, I play 3 copies of Ragged Records of Rites. Ragged Records of Rites has the effect of you reveal a ritual spell in your hand or deck, and if you do, add a monster from your deck to your hand that mentions that spell's name. Wait. If a face-up ritual monster you control uses the field by card effect while its cards in your graveyard, and you do not control any face-up monsters other than ritual monsters, except on a damage tab, add a card from your graveyard to your hand. Ritual spell from your deck to your hand, add a monster from your deck to your hand that mentions that spell's name. I don't think. 1 minute. I need to check a thing because I apologize. I forgot that there are 2 Mitsurugi ritual spells, and for some reason just thought the Mitsurugi monsters mentioned a Mitsurugi ritual spell and not Mitsurugi ritual. It's fine. The time of recording is midnight, so my brain doesn't really want to work very well right now. Next, I play 3 copies of Mitsurugi Prayers. Mitsurugi Prayers, on activation, will let you tribute a monster you can from your hand or field. I believe it has to be a reptile specifically. Yes, you tribute a reptile, so you can apply its effect in sequence. Otherwise, you would activate one of them, where you can add a Mitsurugi monster from your deck to your hand, and then take 800 damage to then special summon 1 Mitsurugi monster from your hand or graveyard, but it cannot attack directly. And you can only activate 1 prayers per turn. Next, I play 3 copies of Mitsurugi Ritual. Mitsurugi Ritual has 2 effects. You can only use each effect in Mitsurugi Ritual once per turn. Where you can ritual summon a reptile ritual monster from your deck by tributing reptile monsters from your hand or field, or whose levels equal the level of the monster you're trying to summon. Or you can ritual summon a ritual monster from your hand by tributing up to 2 reptile monsters from your hand deck or field whose original levels equal the level of the monster you're trying to summon. So ordinarily you'll use ritual, tributing like Kusanagi and Night Sword Serpent. So then you get a ritual Mitsurugi spell, or get a Mitsurugi card back from your graveyard or banish, and then your Night Sword Serpent will summon itself. Next, I play 1 copy of Angelechy Disturbance for the traps. And Angelechy Disturbance has the effect of give control of 1 Angelechy monster you control to your opponent until the end phase. Then if your opponent controls a face-up card in its adjacent monster zones and or spell trap zones, their effects are negated. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add an Angelechy spell trap from your deck to your hand, except for another copy of Disturbance. You'll use each effect of Disturbance once per turn. Next, I play 1 copy of Mitsurugi Great Purification. Great Purification is essentially a Solemn Judgment. When your opponent activates a card or effect, you have to tribute a level 5 or higher reptile monster, negate the effect, and if you do, destroy that card. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one reptile monster in your graveyard and special summon it. If you do, tribute one other monster you control. You can only use one of those two effects of Great Purification per turn. I would say you can only use each effect, but you can only one or the other. Which ordinarily you'll use the negate on your opponent's turn. On your turn, you'll use its effect to bring back a thing. Ordinarily, Kusanagi will be involved, so you contribute Kusanagi, and then Kusanagi will grab your Great Purification back. And then lastly, for the Angelechy cards, I play 3 copies of Angelechy opening to E4. This card has the effect of if your opponent goes first, you can activate this card from your hand during the standby phase. Or during the standby phase of the first turn, where you can place an Angelechy field spell from your hand, deck, or graveyard face up on your field, and if you do, special summon one level 2 or 7 Angelechy monster from your extra deck. Okay, from your extra deck to your extra monster zone. If you do that, place an Angelechy monster from your extra deck in your spell trap zone as you face up a continuous spell. And then until the end of the next turn, after this card resolves, you cannot spell from the extra deck except synchro monsters. Let's see, what was the level 7? I believe it was Destrier. Okay. And then that is it for the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck. For the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Haggard Lizardos. Haggard Lizardos has the effect of you can banish a monster from your face-up field or graveyard with 2,000 less attack, and target one other monster on the field. Its attack becomes equal to the attack points of the monster you banished. Then, if it was originally reptile, you can draw 1 card. Next, play 1 copy of IP Masquerena. This card lets you link summon during your opponent's main phase. If the link monster has link summoned using this card's material, cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Next, I play 1 copy of SP Little Knight. Little Knight has the effect that if it's link summoned using a Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster, you can target 1 card on the field or in the graveyard and banish it. Then if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can use SP Little Knight's effect to target 2 monsters on the field, at least 1 being a monster you control, banish both until the end phase. And if you use the first effect of SP Little Knight, you cannot attack directly for the rest of the turn. Next, I play 1 copy of Dynamondo. Dynamondo has the effect, if it is special summoned, you can target 1 card on the field and 1 ritual monster in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck. And then Dynamondo also has the effect of during your opponent's turn as a quick effect, you can tribute this card, target a ritual monster in your graveyard and either add to your hand or special summon it. You can use each effect of Dynamondo once per turn. Next, I play 1 copy of Charmer Quartet in Bloom. This card is in here because it is able to target 2 monsters with the same type, but different attributes, or different attributes but same type. Ordinarily, it will target a Mitsurugi Ritual Monster and Night Sword Serpent. Because it's either going to target 2 dark monsters, like SP Little Knight and one of the Mitsurugi Rituals, or it'll target a Mitsurugi Monster and Night Sword Serpent. But you'll summon them, and then they cannot be used as Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link material. Next, I play 1 copy of Infernal Flame Banshee. This generic rank 4 just lets you add a Pyro from your deck to your hand. Hence why we're playing the... What was that card's name? Agnimal Candle. As Banshee is able to search this, and then it'll summon itself. And then you can use the summoned candle to be able to summon your Glitch Clutch Null Gainer, which is what gets you to your Witness. As Null Gainer has the effect of this card synchro summoned at a level 8 or higher monster with 0 attack from your deck to your hand. You can target one monster with 0 attack in your graveyard, special summon it, but negates effects. Also, you cannot be used as material for fusion, synchro Xyz, or link summon. You can only use each effect of Glitch Clutch Null Gainer once per turn. Then next, I play 2 copies of Angelechy Enlisted. Angelechy Enlisted has the effect of... You can target one opponent's monster in this card's adjacent column, meaning a monster in the column to the left or right. Banish it and then change control of this card by moving it to one of your opponent's main monster zones in this card's adjacent column. If the control of this face-up card changes, return this card to the extra deck. Then the owner of this card special summons an Angelechy monster from their extra deck. So essentially, it will be able to banish a monster in an adjacent column, give it control of this to your opponent, and then because the control of it changed, it'll go back to your extra deck, and you can summon an Angelechy monster from your extra deck. Then next, I play 1 copy of Destrier. Destrier has the effect of you can target one monster in another column, banish it. If this card is placed in the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell, then you can add an Angelechy spell from your deck to your hand. You can use each affected Angelechy Destrier once per turn. While this card is treated as a continuous spell, each time your opponent activates a card or effect, inflict 500 damage to your opponent when it resolves. Then next, I play 1 copy of Angelechy Bastion. Angelechy Bastion has the effect of you can target one other card in this card's column, banish it. If this card is placed in the spell trap zone as a continuous spell, you can place one Angelechy Shatranga from your extra deck in your spell trap zone as a face-up continuous spell. You can only use each effect of Bastion once per turn. And while this card is treated as a continuous spell, other Angelechy cards on the field cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. And then lastly, for the Angelechy cards, I play 2 copies of Shatranga. Shatranga has the effect of you can target one monster your opponent controls, banish it. If this card is placed in the spell trap zone as a continuous spell, then you can add an Angelechy trap from your deck to your hand, or from your deck or graveyard to your hand. You can only use each of the preceding effects of Shatranga once per turn. And while this card is treated as a continuous spell, your opponent can only attempt to activate up to 5 monster effects per turn. And then next, I play 1 copy of Chaos Angel, because level 10 synchros aren't that hard to make in this deck. But Chaos Angel has the effect of when it's special summoned, target a card your opponent controls and banish it. And then it has 2 effects depending on whether or not you use light or dark monsters to summon it. And if you do, it gains the following effects depending on which ones you used. Where if you use light monsters, your synchro monsters are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent. And then dark, your monsters can't be destroyed in battle. And then the final card for the extra deck, as I mentioned before with Metamorphosis, is the 1 copy of Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. Dragoon cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects, nor can be destroyed by opponent's card effects. Once per turn, it can when opponent activates a card or effect, you can discard a card, negate that effect, and if you do, destroy it. Then, if the card is destroyed, Dragoon gains 1,000 additional attack points. Dragoon doesn't have another effect, but since you're summoning it off of Metamorphosis, that effect does not matter. And that's it for my Angelechy Mitsurugi deck profile. If you have any ideas for what I can do to improve the deck, any ideas for decks like to be made in the future, or decks like to see face each other, feel free to comment down below. I always read the comments and try out suggestions. If you're still here, thanks for watching.